guys, thanks for watching this video. This is going to be all about Monte and my journey to get better in this last year and working with you. Of all the different things we've talked about and worked on, I think the thing without a doubt that's helped me actually improve and get better is kind of changing my concept about sinking the swing, kind of. And before I came in, I was trying so hard, just a little quick recap for everybody. I was trying so hard to hold this lag that I was stuck here and my impact was about like this. Why is that bad? Why is this bad?
I don't think we have enough bandwidth on the internet why that's bad. Okay.
So as far as like for consistency and stuff, when you're seeing people, what do you see more of? Do you see more golfers that are going too hard with their hands, as far as good amateurs, you know, our core audience? The guys that are going too hard with the hands, or guys that are going too hard with the hips? What's more generally what you're seeing more of?
It's about half and half.
Okay.
I mean, you see a lot of good players that get the shaft a little bit too vertical to start the downswing.
Yep.
You know, people like to call that over the top, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's just they're a little vertical. Over the top would be the classic, you know, 30 handicapper, whip it inside and reroute the hand path over this way.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's a lot different. People will have a consistent hand path and then go like this and call it over the top.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not. But yeah, it's pretty much equal number, you know, it's close to 50-50. The shaft steepeners and then the guys that, you know, swing too hard to right field and get underneath.
Oh, so you're saying, okay, because I thought you went to a different topic, but you're saying it is, so there's the guys that go under like this, like I was, and then there's the guys that go too early with the hands and they steepen the shaft early.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's the two opposites.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, and actually, funny enough, you were a little of both.
Yeah, right.
You know, because you wanted that lag and you steepened the shaft really hard, but at the same time, you were leading with the lower body, so you were kind of like this.
Right.
And that's why, like in the middle of a good round, you were susceptible to shanks, you know, here and there.
Yep. And also why, like, sometimes I felt like I was hitting the ball really, really well, and as soon as I started, like, really hitting it good, I'd start to shank it. You know, like, because my faults were all messed up. Yeah.
Well, you know, you see guys with, you know, I was gonna say you see guys with funny swings, Jim Furyk, but all of his parts match.
Yeah.
You know, you aesthetically had a good-looking swing, but you had a bunch of mismatched parts.
Right.
And that's all it's about. Is, you know, it doesn't matter what the swing looks like. You know, you've got your Dustin Johnsons with the wrist like this. You've got your Heinrich Stensons with the wrist like this. Your Phil Mickelsons with the little bit of slinging action.
Yep.
At the bottom, VJ going like this. But those guys have learned to match their parts.
Right. Yeah, each one of those guys have found a way to sync it up. So let's talk about syncing it up for people. When give me like your kind of hit list as far as drills to sync people up who feel like they're just too hard with the lower body. What is like? Give me like your best one.
The one that, see, it's kind of ironic, because the one that works the best immediately is the one that people give up on the quickest.
Yeah.
Which is just the nature of the beast, you know, and which is, you know, getting the right elbow forward sooner.
Okay.
The problem is getting the right elbow forward sooner will have a tendency to open up, have the club face more open than people are accustomed to with the swing that they had. So the guys that are going like this, their path is way to the right, but that club is pretty square to that path, and then they can just kind of roll it online.
Yeah.
The people that are like this, that club face is pointed over there, and when they get that elbow forward, now the club is pointed over there.
Right.
So then the guys that are like this, they get their elbow forward, then they're like, okay, and everybody gets it into a better position, and it's like, then now what do I do?
Yeah.
And everybody will, Monte, I'm hitting it in the middle of the club face. I get this all the time from online lessons. Yeah. You know, I'll have people say, look, get that right elbow forward sooner and less down. Yeah. And they'll be like, well, I started striking the ball better immediately, but I was hitting everything to the right, so I stopped doing it. And, you know, I kind of do the face palm and go, email me next time, and I'll tell you kind of what the next step is.
Okay. All right, so the question I would have, because I'm the type of golfer that'll have a prescription for an aspirin and just take the whole bottle, like you always say. So how do you know when you've gotten the right elbow forward enough, and how do you know when you've overdone it, as far as the feeling of getting it?
You know, it's going to be different for everybody.
Okay.
All you're trying to do, see, you know, people have said, Monte, you know, you say get the elbow toward the belly button. Nobody has their elbow all the way to the belly button. It's a direction, not a destination.
Okay.
Okay? And so when your body's moving this way, the belly button's moving away, so the elbow's never going to catch it.
Yep.
It's a directional thing.
Yeah.
You just don't want the elbow working this way or that way.
Yeah.
Or that way, which is, you know, all the common mistakes.
Right.
It's really quite simple. Whatever, you can be a little across the line, you can be a little laid off. If your first move down is to bring the elbow toward the belly button as you're shifting and turning, you're generally going to improve your shaft and club head position. Then the next step is to figure out what you need to do to get the club face more square at impact.
Okay.
Because generally speaking, this makes you deliver it more open than you're used to.
And that might be it could be a few things.
Rotating the left arm.
Oh, as far as rolling and folding,
right, rolling and folding the left arm. It could be rotating the hips more. It could be getting the right shoulder out more. You know, it's on and on and on.
But of those two things, as far as like priority levels, you would say for somebody to work on getting that sequence right first, and say, oh, it feels flush, but the start direction is a little weird.
Yeah.
You can deal with somebody that, would you rather have somebody who's flushing it, but the start direction's weird, or somebody who's hitting it kind of skunky, but start direction's the same?
Yeah, you know, this is backwards to what most people would say. You send me someone who can hit the ball in the middle of the club face, I can direct them better.
Right, right.
But you know, you send me someone who's borderline hosseling every ball, but kind of thinning it forward, there's a lot of nasty stuff going on that needs to be rectified.
Great. Okay, so that's the first one, guys. This is the right elbow, direction-wise, has got to get forward towards the belly button. Will sync you up a little better. The other thing that we've talked about before, as far as syncing up, I think both for guys that are like this and guys that are steepening and going too early with the upper body or the club, is like taking a 7-iron and hitting 100-yard shots.
Okay, see, this is kind of the central thing here. The shorter the swing, you basically, you know, Jim Furyk, who's back here notwithstanding, you see almost all good players land the right elbow somewhere around the right hip. You know,
at what point?
At some point in the down.
They get it. They get it.
The earlier, the better.
Okay.
The earlier, the better.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're taking the little short swings, the direction, it's got to go about 2 inches. When you're up here like this,
you got to reestablish all this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But this is what you'll see. When you look at good players, not just tour players, but like high-level mini tour players, high-level amateurs, you know, you will not see. When you find one, show it to me, kind of thing.
Okay.
I open the possibility that there are some out there. I just don't see them too often. That when they're coming into impact, you don't see too many with a gap right here.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, this is problematic.
Yes.
Even this is problematic. And then, you know, like Monte, Jim Furyk's elbow is way behind. Yeah, but
he gets there. Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have a gap.
Yeah.
It's back behind his hip, but he doesn't have a gap.
And probably no coincidence, although we're obviously not taking credit for this or anything, probably no coincidence that the conversation Jim Furyk had with his dad before his 58 was just getting the swing a little shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, you know, you don't want to do what I did the first round of the Long Beach Open, where you're so short that you're like, it ruined your, that was the problem that I was having. I was a little too short, but, you know, this goes back to everything. Whenever you and I talk about the golf swing, I always say, here's extreme A, here's extreme B, and it's, you know, you don't want to be, you know, everyone says, oh, look at, oh God, what's his name? I played with him, and I can't, the great amateur who played, short hockey player swing.
Okay.
Alan Doyle.
Yeah.
I'm going C now. You know, Alan Doyle was like,
you
know, and then you got John Daly and Fred Couples who are up here. There's a middle ground.
that's why this middle ground you're talking about is why these 100-yard 7-irons or 50-yard 60-degree wedges are such a key to your practice.
Correct.
And so good for syncing people up.
Exactly right.
All right, give me one that may be something a little weird, something I haven't heard of, as far as getting people, something that's really positive and good to do to get people generally more sunk up.
Well, there's one that, you know, a lot of people
yeah.
think that that's a power move. The
yes.
big thrust, not just toward the ball, but forward too.
And even if you logically know that it's not, your body still thinks that this is killing the ball.
Okay. Yeah. I like to use the word invite.
Yeah.
So, you know, I call it the zipper away drill. You take a backswing and your zipper works. See, the instinct is like, oh, move the zipper away. No, that's a big hip fire.
Yeah.
You move the zipper away from the golf ball without rotating, and then it kind of invites the elbow to come
that way. Like if we're hitting a ball, that it's going that way. Yeah, not straight back and not twisting.
12 o'clock is the target, and we're going toward 10:30. So what it does is it just gives you a little bit more time before the hips rotate.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, it's not just a direction of your hips thing, it's a timing mechanism.
Right.
Okay.
So you're keeping yourself from thrusting the hips out there, and it also delays the hip turn and gives you more time to you know, get this in here.
Awesome. All right, John, follow us. We're going to go to the range. We're going to try these 3 things right now. Okay, Monty, what was the first thing that we talked about?
Bringing the elbow toward the belly button.
Right elbow forward. Okay, so we'll see it in this one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to get a slow motion of you. So give me a quick recap on how you would do this, or the thoughts that you're thinking about when you are doing this.
You know, for me, I don't care where the ball goes. Yeah. All I'm doing is I'm just trying to get this to come in this, because I have a tendency to go like this myself.
Straight down.
Because that's what I was taught to do, just like you were. So I just come in here and I'll just hit little shots. And my intended, I have 2 intended goals that don't sound right. But what it does is it really, you know, it's an external focus to get this really forward. I try to deliver the toe in a wide open club face.
Okay.
Because in order to deliver a toe in a wide open club face, you kind of have to go like this to it. You know, keep the hands in and the elbow forward instead of steep and up, which kind of delivers the heel.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to keep the hands in. So I'm trying to hit it off the toe with an open club face.
Oh, I gotcha.
See, that was a little off the toe and about, I don't know, 10 or 15 yard push.
Now show me real quickly, just because you're so good at this, what not to do, like the guy that goes real early with the hips, just to have it on. Exactly, and now give me an after one with that intention of getting the elbow there.
See, this is what's great about the elbow to the belly button intention. And like I said, people have criticized that because they're like, the elbow's not supposed to get to the belly button.
Yeah.
And I realize that, it's directional. But if your brain, it has kind of a double positive here. If your brain is thinking elbow to the belly button, the brain won't slide the hips and pull the belly button away because you're trying to go here.
Yeah, okay.
So if your intent is you're trying to do this, your brain's not going to do
without
that.
Without even thinking of stalling anything or whatever. Right. All right, hold on just a second. Okay, Monty, show me another good intention swing here.
See, that was really in the toe. Okay?
All right.
So that's, you know, it's especially good for people who are having, you know, a little bit of a shank problem, because, you know, they're steep with the shaft, and then their hips go like this, and then they're just throwing the heel out into it. And if they're in here trying to get the elbow forward and trying to hit it, you know, out toward the edge there, it's a really, really good drill to get out of that move.
Because when you do go early with the hips, that is connected to people that shank it. I know that I've been there. All right, so let's move on to the second thing. And so Monty, you have what club there?
5.
5, okay, so Monty's only gonna hit this about 115 yards or something?
Something.
So just in that effort to get this elbow a little closer, a little more compact, and good tempo, right?
Yeah, you know, one of the issues that I have in my swing is I like to just yank on it really, really hard, and hitting these little shots kind of diminishes that a little bit. So you want to go on to the zipper move, or are we still on
no, just hit like one shot of the, just so I have it in slow-mo. This is just the, basically we also call this the left arm parallel.
Right.
Really good, Monte, really good. Cured it so well, it went kind of far. All right, and then finally the zipper away.
Okay, this is really, really a good drill because, you know, it gives you a sense of not, you don't slide, you don't thrust, and it gives you the sense of, you know, really squatting and getting into the ground.
Yeah.
You know, you've talked to George Gankis and to Dana Dahlquist. They have a little bit different way that they teach it. But it's, you know, you talk to good instructors.
But a guy, when you're looking at a video of a guy doing their move or a guy doing the zipper away move,
it's going to look really, really close.
Right.
You know, you talk to different good instructors, they're going to have the same general principles and just describe it differently.
So show us that. Oh, you could really see it there. Hit one more, Monte. Now, are you trying to hit that in the toe?
No.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
Where it hits here is, I'm just, you know, creating some space.
Okay, creating some space, getting those zipper towards 1030. I love that. Cool.
And it just creates a lot of space for your arms to work out in front of you.
I'd like to give you the final word on syncing your swing. People that, you know, because sometimes you're on the golf course, you just don't feel connected to your golf swing. You feel like you're not the one that's in control.
Every day.
Well, it's an amazing feeling when you are on the golf course and for the first time in years, you're like, oh, I'm the one controlling where the ball's going to go, the timing of my swing, how hard to hit it.
Yeah. You're tired of those days where you go,
yeah, like, oh gosh.
Oh, right. It's in the fairway, sweet, you know.
Like Jack Nicklaus had a famous quote. He's like, yeah, he's like, I just go up to the ball and I just, until I'm 100% confident that I'm gonna make a good swing and I know where it's going, I just don't hit it. I'm like, I'm just never gonna hit a shot, you know. Like, but it's a rewarding thing to be able to have, you know, have the power that your lower body is producing actually translate to the club head.
Sure.
If you're going like this, none of it's ever getting there.
Right.
So I'll give you the final word on syncing your swing. What do you think?
You know, it's going to be very, very individual on how to do it.
Yeah.
It's just really, really important that you do something, because to me, it is the single most important thing in the golf swing. It's not lag, it's not how much open your hips get at impact, it's not that you hit a draw, it's not that you hit a fade. Can you get your arms to the same spot on your chest every single time? It could be here like Furyk, you know, it could be here like Dustin Johnson. It doesn't matter as long as you're landing them in the same place every time. And so then your body will be able to produce a more consistent swing.
And if they're in front of you or if they're way behind you, you're not going to be able to control that.
No. If they're not, and it's even worse if they're never getting there, and you're, you know, if you've got this big gap here, then it's just, see, this is where amateurs, especially better players, get in the biggest problem. This, I can sum it up right here. The biggest issue as amateurs is they'll get their bodies out in front of their arms. They'll run out of range of motion. So it's
this.
I got nowhere more to go. Then this stalls and this flips, and they're like, ooh, I'm flippy, and I've got a flippy, armsy swing. I need more lower body. And it just makes it worse. So, you know, This isn't exactly correct, but this is the way I like to describe the swing, is you need to have the proper amount of arm and hand action early in the downswing, in the transition, so you don't have to have any down here.
And that's the discovery of making yourself a better golfer. I've seen it's kind of like you have to have this Rolodex of things. Sometimes it's going to be no turn and cast. Sometimes it's going to be the elbow. Sometimes it's going to be just the parallel swings or whatever else. But go through these different things and you're like, oh, yeah, that felt like what I want.
Right.
Because the good swings and the good feedback you have will be your best teacher to making you better.
And then you want to get yourself to a point where it's not a revolving door of, you know, well, it's this one, this one, this one, this one. When then all of a sudden now pretty easily you can get this done.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes a ball position, you know, reacting to the ball thing. Some days you'll play it a little further back. Some days you'll play a little further forward. Some days you'll kind of aim for a little bit more on the inside of the ball. Sometimes you'll kind of aim, you know, then all of a sudden you've got this lined up a little bit better.
Yep.
Now you're reacting to the golf ball more and to what's going on up here less.
And that's the feeling of actually playing golf.
See,
and
that's you know, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Is I've got instructor brain. I hit a bad shot, you know. Oh well, you know, I got short and then I steepened the club and then it did. I got to get out of that,
right?
Because that's killing me right now.
We've seen you in the shadows of the trees, thinking, figuring it out.
So now it's I actually, even though I didn't shoot a very good round today, I did that really, really well today.
Okay.
I
stayed in the moment.
I hit a bad shot. I'm like, you know, and I went back and I did the next one better.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot. Is not cause to you know, go. Oh, yeah, right. Do an overhaul on the golf course. Yeah.
I see this more. This makes me physically ill when I see this. I don't get mad at the people because obviously golf's a hard game. I'm like, no, don't do that. You're killing yourself. I'll be going to give a playing lesson, and we'll be here on the range, and they'll be puring the ball, you know, hitting it great. They get up, hit their first tee shot bad, and then they go through their swing checklist, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, no, just hit the next one better. Just hit the next one better.
If this is all about syncing your swing, the first step that I would do, as soon as you guys are done watching this video, and next time you're practicing, is take that face-on video of your swing, and just see. If you're one of the guys that looks like this, take that down the line.
No, the face on. Got to do the face on again.
Right, because it's not connected.
See, like what you showed me was a little bit stuck.
Right.
But at least it's there.
Oh, I got you.
You know, it's when when you see
when people are shooting this video, look for the gap. There.
That's
also
huge.
Also, of course, look for where your head is. You don't get offsides on the way down.
Offsides, I like that. But definitely the gap. You know, when you have higher handicap golfers, it's, you know, a laundry list of things that need to improve. Let's start with a basic one and get better.
Yeah.
But like you always say, the people that watch, you know, the show here are generally a better group of golfers. The biggest problem I see where golfers from like 3 to 12 can improve is learn how to land this on the body earlier. You know, because when you're coming into impact like that, oh, I'm flipping. Well, of course you are. If you didn't flip, you wouldn't get the club to the ball when your arm's back here.
All right, okay, quick note about practicing when people are doing this, because I don't want people to go out and overdo and go crazy. How should people practice any of these moves? Do you like to do that like Luke Donald thing where you have the little pyramid of 5 balls, then like golf course swings and?
No. The way I like, there's 3 different, well, kind of. 3 different levels. This one.
Yep.
Here, let's grab a couple balls here. Okay. So I've got 5 iron here. So if you can't film it, if you can't go from here to here and avoid the gap, you need to get something done quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I've seen it. You know, guy comes here, 4 handicap, great player.
Yeah.
Tries to hit a little punch 5 iron, hits a foot behind it because his right elbow is so behind his body.
Just because he can't do that parallel swing.
And normally he uses speed to carry the club all the way into the, but when you're only hitting it from here to there, you don't have speed to make up for that deficiency. So then it just turns into this.
Right.
you know? So I'm just bowling the ball about 40 yards and barely got off the ground. That's step one, you know, and then you get up there and hit one about 100. Okay, and then you hit a full one. I'm not loose enough to hit a full one.
No, that's fine. But practice-wise, that's what you're advocating. If you can't do it with the parallel swing, make it even just a 10-yard shot.
I tell you what, I have had dozens, maybe even hundreds of, you know, low handicap, low single-digit handicappers. I say, take out that 5-iron and just hit me a punch shot to the end of the tee box here, which is 40, 50, 60 yards. Yeah. They all chunk it. Because I see the swing and I go, this is, and they're like, this is bad. And I'm like, hit that 5-iron.
Right. And the cool thing about that, the human body, is that once you're just practicing, if you just keep practicing that, you're athletically, you're going to start having these better mechanics for your swing.
Right.
Great. Okay, guys, I think that's going to be super valuable for you. Because you guys are checking this video out, write anything in the comments that if you guys have any like issues with trying these things out or whatnot, and we'll try to knock those out on a future episode or write a little note to you. Hey everybody, so this is part 2 of the video. First part obviously is the meat of the matter with Monte Scheinblum, and we talked about the 3 different keys to getting your swing in more in sync, regardless of if you're stuck back here or if you're way out in front of yourself here, which in my opinion is not too many people. Most people need to get their hands in front more. But the 3 different keys being getting that right elbow forward, getting making these 5-iron shots that just go 100 yards, and also the 3rd key being the zipper away drill. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of go over with you guys is that I want you guys to be able to track your progress in this, because I really want this to be not just a video that you guys see syncing your swing. I don't want you just to watch this video, think it's interesting, you know, kind of ignite some cool thoughts and move on. I really want this to be transformative and help you play some really great golf. So in order to do that, I think the best way to do that is you have to be able to identify your swing yourself and see what you're doing right and wrong when it comes to, is it in sync or not. So this is what you do. You get a camera face on, like I have the camera here, and what you're going to be looking for when you swing is this lockout move that a lot of people have. You probably recognize this. Here and finish. So that's what we're looking to avoid, this lockout. So many of us amateur golfers are going here and swinging hard with the hips. We get locked out, stall, flip, and through. Monty explained that really well in the previous video. So when you film yourself, what you're looking for is to have more hip left as you hit it. See how this, I'm at a hip and I hit it? That's wrong. What I want is more hip left over, and then I can go through. So if you have an iPhone, the slow motion feature on an iPhone 6 is amazing for seeing that and really judging it. Now the other thing that you want to do with this, because these things are so related, between going too hard with the lower body and being out of sync, is so related to getting in front of it like this. In your search for power, you think power comes from getting, your body anyway, thinks that power comes from going like this, and also thinks power comes from going like this. It doesn't. Power is really supported by your lower body, not so much created by your lower body, as far as what you consciously should be doing. Now I want to talk to you guys about a concept that I've thought of recently that I think really illustrates this really nicely. It's I call it front wheel drive. So in a golf swing sequence, for the longest time when I was trying to sustain the leg and I was trying to hold everything and drive hard from the ground up, I had what was more like a rear wheel drive swing. See that? And now what I'm trying to get is a more front wheel drive swing. So what does that mean? Think about like a Porsche, like hauling just around bends and stuff in the rain with rear wheel drive, and how much control that car would have in compared to just a normal Corolla or something, and how much more control the front wheel drive car has. So when you're taking these swings, I want you to feel like your swing is out in front of you and you're giving yourself this front wheel drive. Really letting your swing come in front of you. You guys are gonna get much, much more control. I know since I've changed my swing to be more of a front wheel drive motion and less of a lower body thrusting move and more of a front wheel drive move, like I'm saying, I shoot par a lot more often, I shoot under par a lot more often, and my handicap's gone down. I'm able to compete in some of these amateur tournaments in this area. So if you, like me, are an extreme case where you're really, really locked up and you're it's really difficult for you to stop from getting all this moving first, or you're going like that way too much. So this is a bonus drill if you're a really, really extreme case. And probably not a bad thing for you to do even if you're just a mild case of hip spinning lockout, like I'll call it. All right, so take your alignment stick. And what I want you to do is, instead of just straight down like you would normally do the alignment stick thing, you're gonna step 1 foot on this side and 1 foot on this side, and then put it diagonal to your feet here, right? Then, as you're making your swings, when you take your backswing, this is a backswing thing, but still, when you're taking your backswing, get the shaft over, like it's parallel right over this. See, I can see the shadow of the club there. That may seem a little outside, but it's actually just, if I just rotate, it stays right over there. Then what you want to do is you make a full backswing and a deep backswing. Deep meaning this way. So a full deep backswing. Then I'm going to feel like my hips, here's my belt buckle, I'm going to feel like my belt buckle is pointing along this alignment rod as I make my downswing. So it's here, there. That is here, there. This is a move to keep you from wanting to go like this as the first move down. It should feel like the first move down is more of an extension in front of you, like Tiger Woods said in that famous Butch Harmon Golf Channel Learning Academy video. He said he feels like it's going here and is dropping it down. Now, I don't think, and Monte doesn't think either, that you should go down. You should go diagonal in front of you, like here. So here. So it's going that diagonal route in front of you, getting in front, leaving your hips pointed this way until you feel like the club's in front of you, and then just let the momentum pull you through. There's no active driving in the hips as we're trying to reprogram the way our body thinks about hitting the ball. So here. That's pretty good. One more of those for you guys. So we're going here, here. And really good to take some shorter swings just to get the feeling of what this sequence should be. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about, Monte talked about this a little bit, but when you guys are working on your sequence in your swing, work on your sequence in your swing. Don't worry too much about hitting terrible shots. If you come out here and you're working on your sequence and you're flushing it as you're working on all these different things, you're probably not working on it correctly. You probably should come out here and hit it kind of weird. Then when you go into golf course mode, you'll be able to flush it a little bit more. Okay, so now if you guys are a very extreme case of spin out, one thing that you can do is in addition, this is another bonus drill. All right, so if you guys have watched my channels, you've seen my channel before, which I know you have. You've seen this gear tie. So what I do with this gear tie, which is a super useful thing, and it costs like $8 for a pack of 4 of them or something. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll put this in my belt loop like this. And these things are super shapeable to be able to do anything you want with it. All right, put this in my belt loop like this, and you're like, well, what's the point of this? I'm gonna stick this out here like this for my rear hip. Okay? Then, looks a little goofy, obviously. But what I wanna do is go here and feel like my arms are gonna get in front of this before this orange thing. If I do my old move, I'll go like this and I'll actually hit this orange thing. So you're gonna take some smaller shots here and try to clear it in front of you. It gives you some great awareness of what your hips are up to. And if you're perfectly in sync, you should have this here, hit it, and then finish through and never have that gear tie touch you. That last one, it touched me a little bit. So we're going here. And you can really feel how active your hips just want to absolutely fire at it. And like I said, you probably won't hit that many great shots doing this, but it's giving you great awareness. That was terrible. It's actually, this one is probably best to do without even hitting the ball. But hitting balls are fun, so I'm gonna keep trying. That was a good one. A little left, but it was good. Okay, so we're going here. Oh man. That was pretty good. So with this, when you guys have this gear tie here, it looks a little goofy, but what you want to do with it is take a ball and put it there, but you're actually not going to hit the ball. This is not a drill that I recommend hitting a lot of balls with at all. Really, almost not at all, really. But I like having a ball down there just for frame of reference to kind of know how big a ball is in your brain. So if I do my old hip thing, see, this is in the way now, and I'll get it caught. If I clear my hands right in front of my rotation, I can really start to avoid this gear tie. Really good. Now, instead of hitting balls with this on, because you will not hit the ball very good and it might mess up your confidence, all you have to do is take it and just fold it back here like this and flip-flop a lot. So now we're in the off position, effectively, here, and now I'm gonna keep that same feeling and hit this 7-iron. That was really good. And then same thing, then put it in the on position. So I have this gear tie here, and don't make it too hard on yourself, just to get the feeling. See, now I'm here and I can feel my hips want to get that gear tie in the way. Now I'm going to put it off, put it back, and actually hit a shot. About 80% shot here. And that one, I could tell my hips went out a little too fast. The great thing that this does, and all these drills do, it gives you great awareness of what your body's doing sync-wise. All right, you want to get your swing more in sequence, and this is a very weird-looking but very unique and works training aid. All right, so get a gear tie and tie it over under, kind of like I have here, and extend it out here. We're trying to get a wave, and then, so you have it here, this is what I call, you the on position, looks extremely goofy, but who cares? Then what you're trying to do is swing it where you're trying to get your lead left arm to catch this. Like that. So watch this one in slow-mo. You can see how much faster it keeps the arm swing, and it gets you sunk up a lot better. So then when you go to hit a ball, I don't like hitting balls with this, so I put it into the off position like that, and so it doesn't wiggle around. I tuck it into my back pocket, and then you go to hit a shot with the same feeling of getting the arms out in front of your swing. I've been calling it front wheel drive. It's really good. All right, so get it in front of your swing and sync it up. So we really want to get here and there. That was really good. Okay. All right, on to our Monte tips. So one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is I wanted to show you guys, because I'm working through this as well. I'm trying to improve my sequence, and I've done a good job of doing it so far, but I have a long way to go. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna practice, and I'm gonna let you guys in, just like I do in my vlogs. I'm gonna let you guys into almost every thought that I'm having while I'm practicing, and kind of trying to get more of this front wheel drive swing. Now what I'll do is I'm gonna start flip-flopping through a lot of different clubs. So I'll hit 6-iron, and then immediately after that I'll hit wedge, and then I'll hit driver, and then I'll hit 4-iron, and then I'll hit like a low hooking 6, and then like a fading 8-iron, things like that, really trying to mix it up. So all these different clubs, but keeping my intention of getting my swing more synced up through these drills as the constant theme through all these different shots. It will make it more difficult to hit good, solid, pure shots on the range, but it'll make your practice much more sticky and much better for your improvement, especially long term. This is the way to actually be better, to be a better golfer, not just be yourself 100 balls later, but to actually make changes. The first drill we're gonna do, kind of a little out of order, is the 100-yard 5-irons. So this is a 6-iron, so I'm just gonna try to hit this about 90 yards. And it's really good to mix in a healthy dose of a lot of these. Especially sometimes you go to the course and you just feel out of sync, and you just feel like it's not you that's controlling the club. A lot of these shots will really help you. So like I said, I'm gonna flip-flop a lot. So that was 6-iron, now I'm gonna go to 54 degree and do the same drill though. Just a left arm parallel, parallel to parallel. Shot parallel here, parallel there. And I'm only gonna hit this about, this 54 degree wedge, which usually goes 100 yards. I'm only gonna hit this about 50 yards. And always being aware of what your sequence is doing. Monte talks about accelerating like a minivan and not like a Ferrari. So that one I was a little bit more Ferrari-esque. And that one was a lot more like a minivan. The thing that I really like to do with these swings, the parallel to parallel, zipper away, and the right elbow forward, I like to blend them together. So this one is going to be a blending of parallel to parallel with a zipper away transition feeling. So parallel to parallel with a little zipper away. And you can see how much I really want to jump out of my swing. The thing I wanted to tell you guys too as I'm going through this, it's better. I want this really to be interactive for you guys. So, like I said, I don't want this just to be something you watch and it's interesting and it goes away. On my Instagram at BB Golf Show, at BB_Golf Show, you guys can send me your swing and I'll be thrilled to take a look at it and see your progress and answer any questions that I have and any questions that are like kind of beyond my pay grade. I'll take up with Monte. That was a good one. Because you guys are subscribers and you've bought this video, I want you guys really do have a hotline to be able to get your questions answered first before any other questions, be it on Be Better Golf Live or in the comments or any way we can help each other make each other better. So there's a 4-iron, parallel to parallel with a little bit of a zipper away feel. Okay, the shot that I have the hardest time with is the right elbow forward shot, that intention. Monte says that people quit on it, it's the most effective, but people quit on it the earliest. This is so important with this one to really get the feeling of doing it and not worry about how you hit it. So this one, if I hit it perfectly, it's gonna hit this fence over to the right here because I'm gonna line up down the center and I wanna get the face open and hit it off the toe. So. And I chunked it and hit it terrible, but like I said, you really have to swallow your pride and get your sequence correct. So. That was really good. So it was off the toe and it went to the right like I wanted to. And my sequence was probably pretty good on that one. All right, so I'm gonna try to have that same feeling. Go here and right elbow forward. And I'm gonna toe it with an open face. It's pretty good. Didn't quite get the face as open as I wanted, but we're trying to kind of operate in extremes here on the range. So now this is just gonna be a parallel to parallel swing. If I'm gonna keep the same club, I want a little bit of it. So parallel to parallel with a little bit of a zipper away. Yeah, it was good. Okay. Like I said, in your practice, this is what Monte has told me 100 times, he really wants to see me hit about 10,000, not in a row, but 10,000 total parallel to parallel shots that kind of accelerate like a minivan. It's really great for your sequence, regardless of what you're doing in your swing. It's about the closest thing to a cure-all there is for drills for golf. None of these lies are good here. You can see this grass is kind of crazy, but mixing quite a few shots where you're hitting them like you're on the golf course. What I call this is like when you're doing all these different drills and then you go to hit one that's like just on the range and you're acting like it's on the course. I call it a mind eraser. So you have all these thoughts going through your head and your head's kind of spinning with all these different body motions. Then you go to try to actually hit one like it's on the course. You treat it like a mind eraser. So you erase all the thoughts from your mind and you just try to execute the shot the same way you would on the course. So I have my target picked out. My alignment's good. Okay, little fade, dead straight. Not awesome, but it's a golf course shot. Same thing, so I'm gonna just try parallel to parallel with a little bit of a zipper away. Always like switching clubs constantly. I'm just really going to try to have a shorter swing, that zipper away feel, and accelerate my arms in front wheel drive in front of my body. Tiny mind eraser and swing. How's it going? If you guys look at Adam Young's book about practicing and the difference between block practice and kind of stochastic or random practice, it really should be, instead of 10 drivers in a row, it should be one driver, a 6-iron, a faded 3-iron, just like it is out on the golf course. Probably the best way to practice would be to just hit all these different shots, going from shot to shot on the golf course. All right, so with driver, the only difference with driver that I've seen is just that because the longer the club, the more you want to hit it hard, and the more your body thinks that this is going to be the thing, and that this is going to be the thing that gives you power. So you just have to, you're fighting your natural inclination to want to hit it hard by doing this. You really have to get cleared out with all this front wheel drive feeling. So what I always do is I get these kind of feels as I'm over the ball that I want here. And then I kind of think a little mind eraser, like kind of forget about that and just hit it. Really good. It was pulled just a little bit, but really good. And you got to really learn to put your value judgments on the range on if you did what you were trying to do and not how well you hit the ball. There's 1,000 guys that hit the ball really well in the range. There's 1 billion guys that hit the ball really well in the range. But there's very few guys that can take it from the range to the course. And if you practice this kind of random way where you care more about your technique and less about your results, you can actually be able to have some really great shots that come with you on the course. All right, parallel to parallel, mind eraser. It's not easy though. It's not easy to be out here hitting shots and keep focused on what you came to the range to do. So our focus should really be in getting our swing more in sync. And that's it. All right, this is gonna be parallel to parallel with a little bit of a zipper away, but I'm gonna try to put a tiny bit of power into this and feel like a draw shape to it. And I did it, but I could feel that I went like this a little bit early. So when I'm feeling like I'm doing that a little bit too much, I'm gonna go over to my gear tie here. Put this back on. Here we go. I'm just gonna check that I'm still recording my audio. Yep, it's been 33 minutes so far. Okay, cool. So I got my gear tie here. Kind of stick it out. I'm gonna get my driver, the club that I would wanna hip spin with the most. And you can really feel how much faster my hands are moving. If I just did what I would want to do, I would go like that. And I would hit the gear, I get stuck behind the gear tie. I want to go. Now, if you're not really feeling it this way, you can actually put it on this side and try to catch up to it. like try to hit your hand against it. If you'd rather have more of a positive feeling rather than negative feedback, but the positive feedback of trying to get to this thing on the other side, but I like having it back here. But like I said, the temptation to want to hit balls with this gear tie on is gonna be there, but it's not gonna be worthwhile to do it. Just take some practice swings with it there. And put it in the kind of off position, like I call it. And then keep that same feeling. And also before I hit a shot, I'm just kind of trying to bring all those swing thoughts up to the ball and then kind of clear my mind. A little bit of a breath out for a mind eraser. So I'm really trying to feel that. Get that swing in front. That was a good one. That's about it, guys. You've basically heard all my thoughts on syncing your swing. And you should feel at the end of these kind of swing syncing practice sessions, you should feel kind of beat up. You should feel like, man, I didn't hit a lot of really good shots. It's not something that you do when you're just about to play. This is like the stuff that's the building blocks to getting your swing a lot more synced up. So thanks a lot for watching. Like I said, go to my Instagram and send me your swings through that, and I'd be thrilled to see them. And also write anything in the comments below and let me know about your progress. I'm gonna finish the rest of these balls. All right, hey everybody, as a little bonus here, I have a friend of mine and also a guy from my neighborhood, DAHLQUIST, who is a teacher of guys on the PGA Tour and also a teacher of amateurs as well. Dana, we were just talking about this, but this whole issue of getting your upper body sunk to your lower body, of those things, what do you see more of? Do you see more guys jumping out like this or more guys going way too early like this?
I see more people, you know, quite frankly, they go to the top and the first thing they do is they want to have this initiation of contact. So the thing that they do is they typically are going to go forward too fast.
Yep.
I mean, we all have our terminologies for it, but I particularly call that too much linear force too soon.
Yeah, you're here and you have this desire, the target's over here, so you want to be like, oh, I'm going to kill this, and you just go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the unintended consequences to that is when they go forward too fast, upper body starts to go back. So
we have this and this.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And we have to be really clear, you know, not to go on a tangent, but, you know, there's the issue of being stuck or the club being behind you are two very separate things.
Okay.
So you could have the club inside like a Rory McIlroy or Jim Furyk, okay? Or you could have, perfect. So like Rory McIlroy would have the club from the inside, but his body is sequenced properly to his lower body. So you would see a player like you know, Jim Furyk, Rory McIlroy be in that condition, right? Yeah. So they can open up and hit the golf ball. But when you have somebody who goes linear too fast and they start creating too much early side bend,
yeah,
their shoulders stay closed too long and the club gets too far from the inside with improper shoulder mechanics. So they can't open up their shoulders and they get too much side bend and things become a problem. So the problem lies in blending this linear force with this kind of behind you. Yeah. Because from this position, it's just a guessing game of where the ball is going to go. Absolutely. So if we're looking for a drill to help us, people, let's talk about the extreme case. Somebody who does both those things, which is me on bad days. So go like that, and you're behind, and you're in front. Yeah. What's a good drill to do? I try to keep as much pressure on the ball of my right toe as long as possible. Okay. And I try to feel like when I do that move that I feel like my center of my belt, okay, which is right here, my belly button are behind my upper axis. Now, that doesn't mean that I try to lunge my body forward. Yeah. I try to stay behind the golf ball and open up enough that I can now use that pressure that's underneath the midline of the back of my foot to push up. And that's what kicks me into extension. So Like a hockey
So
player.
you talk about early extension. This is actually proper extension.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You need extension to hit the golf ball.
Tell me about that, like a hockey player. Show me.
Yeah. So Graham DeLette.
Okay. Yeah.
So Graham DeLette hits it pretty well, right?
Was a hockey player, right?
He's open like that. So that pressure's right here, and my hips are not going early. It's like a wrist shot.
So you're here, and
There you are.
so a good drill would be to take it split grip like this.
Yes.
And feel this. So it's in the ball of my foot.
Yeah. There you go.
Because when I watch these kind of drills on Instagram and other places, the thing that doesn't translate when you're watching them on there is the foot pressures that you're building. Because if you go out there and you just try to do this move, and you're just kind of floating above what's going on your feet,
Yeah.
you won't really be getting it right.
No, it's got to work from the ground up. Yeah, I mean, we use Body Track, and some guys use Swing Catalyst. So dependent upon who I'm working with, sometimes some guys have one or the other. And I see, can I throw a name out there?
Yeah, of course. Sure.
So James Hahn is a good example of this. So James Hahn goes to the top of his swing, and the first thing that James does, and you can see this in the sequence, is he goes forward first, and then he pulls his arms down because he's already too far forward, and he stays close.
Yeah.
Now, when he does that, he starts to come off the ground early, starts going vertical early, and then swings really far to the right.
Yeah.
So
that's like a professional version of an amateur fault. Huh?
Correct. Yeah. Well, they're good athletes. They can get away with a lot of things.
Okay.
That's a totally another subject.
But I saw James's interview after his win, and he talked about how the I think it was Body Track, seeing that trace of he was going, this trace that shows your center of pressure.
Center pressure.
Yeah, it was just going left, like before like his downswing had even started.
Yeah. So James felt that week that he stayed back longer, rotated, and then there were some other things that he was doing. Yeah. But that's the main thing that he did. So it's just very interesting. It's a very common thing for amateurs.
So try that hockey drill. I'm going to hit a shot right now. We're in a legal part of the golf course, so this is not a real ball. Okay, so I'm just going to feel this kind of hockey motion. How's this look here?
So really good. Now, while you're looking at this, so this is actually pretty good. Go to impact.
Okay.
Like that. Okay, so notice how right here, this is longer than this. So you want to feel a little more level and a little more open. You don't want to compress right here too much.
Right, because if you've always gone left early, you're so used to tilting this way.
Right.
That you have to.
There you go.
Yeah, really, it feels over the top if you're used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to hit one here with that feeling. I'm a practice swing whiz.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad to stay here because it's really hard to reprogram your brain not to want to, especially when you're under pressure.
So to the point, hopefully I'm still in frame.
Yeah, we're good. Good.
So to the point, what are some of the Shaolin pieces, right? So some guys, elbow position is per another total subject.
Yeah,
so there's some guys that have the elbow trailing, some guys have the elbow in front. That's besides the point. The main thing is that you're able to, when you do this, that you're able to shallow the club.
Yeah.
And a trailing club head is going to help that. Getting the club back in front of you is bad because the more I do that, the more I'm going to want to tilt back anyway.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Getting the club back, because I've been working on trying to get the club in front of me because I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So you want to get the hands in front with the club behind?
Just get the club and hands behind. Everything.
Okay. So you're talking about going like.
Yeah. So do the body first. Good. So
you're saying there's no problem getting the hands behind as long as you're not going left, though we talked about first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So if you go to the top, now make your first transition. So your knees go. This is trailing. Your club head's trailing back here.
Yeah.
Right. Now you just keep opening. Your club gets into impact.
Oh, okay, I got you. more of an automatic.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Dana. That's really cool. Dana will be back on the channel more as we go on. Put any questions in the comments below, and thanks for watching, everybody.